This video is presented by the EA Creator Network. Thank you to EA for giving me an early access copy to the Sims 4 Businesses and Hobbies expansion pack, but let's go ahead and hop into today's video. So yesterday, the Sims team released a brand new expansion pack for The Sims 4 Businesses and Hobbies, and I have a very lengthy list of builds and gameplay ideas I've been wanting to do ever since they announced it. And I've already built a tattoo parlor / educational center, but today I wanted to build a live-in business of having a pottery studio with live entertainment at the bottom with a resident living at the top. So essentially a little bit of Sims 2 open for business for me, but in The Sims 4. So like I said, I've been wanting to build a live-in business ever since they announced the brand new expansion pack, and I knew pottery and tattooing were going to be two new skills that we were going to get with the new EP, which I felt like was a little bit lacking in that hobby department, and I was hoping that we were going to get more eventually. But when looking at the build and buy items, I was super excited to kind of test my hand and seeing if I can build a residential house on top of a pottery studio, or at least pottery shop at the bottom, residential house at the top, and just kind of have fun with it. And this was actually my second build that I did when I got my hands on my super early access. So that's why you see my name floating around on the screen periodically throughout the video. But once we do the tour, my name will not be on the screen, since now I have access to the full game with all the packs and all that fun jazz. But I have a couple of builds that I've been doing for a while that you'll be seeing on the channel in the next couple of days. And I have been so excited for this EP, not only because it's a new pack and new stuff. I just get excited when there's new features that I can expand on existing packs, like growing together, seasons, parenthood, even get to work. And something that I've learned over time was playing it with all the packs the past couple of days. I've learned the ins and outs of how to do the mentoring and even paid mentoring. And then even also tattooing and dedicating a tattoo to a certain sim, or having someone work for you that's in your household. Because I love the fact that children can own their own business. So I could basically tie in a little bit of home chef hustle, growing together ideas, and have a child own a lemonade stand. Or I think backyard stuff is when we got the lemonade drink thing tray, and kids can actually utilize that object perfectly fine and then sell it using the selling table. But I'm what if my child actually ran a full-on lemonade drink business with attaching a candy store to it? And I actually have that build already work in progress, because I've been wanting to dabble into every single skill, hobby, interactable object there is in the game and turn it into a business. Because the fact that Business and Hobbies only has two skills, tattooing and pottery, and only two hobbies, the business side of everything is so different to me, where you can have business modifiers, a ticket kiosk, you have better ways to really kind of expand your business to be better, whether you want to burn it into the ground or make it as profitable as you want, or even do a shady thing, be a little Slim Shady type of moment. And you can go any direction, but ultimately I feel by itself, it's lacking in a lot of different departments. But if you combine it with your existing packs, it's worth every single penny. But I would say if you're only buying the pack for the world, I say wait for a sale, because the world's a little bit empty. It's a nice world, don't get me wrong, but it feels a little bit empty where there's not a lot of things you can really do. And so the way I usually see The Sims 4 in terms of new packs and building, I want to make builds that are fun, educational in terms of education, of mentoring with new skills and new hobbies. But I also want to have a build to go to where any and all Sims can go to, whether they want to buy something, hang out, drink, some good old nectar, eat a cookie, eat a piece of pie, whatever they really want. I just want to make sure that I'm playing in worlds for my pure enjoyment. And for me, I wouldn't necessarily live in this world all the time, because there's not a lot of things for my Sims to do. And I did not have tool mod in my game, and I haven't had it for the past couple of months, since it's been kind of broken for a while. But something that I'm probably going to do when Twisted Mexi updates tool mod eventually down the line is I'm going to utilize it and kind of decorate the general environment of Nordhaven, because Nordhaven is a nice world. It has very good environments. I just think it needs a little extra stuff. So I'm hoping to one day that there'll be a pack where the world is one, nice looking, but then it's also very interactive with the things you can do. Like, for example, the world that we got with Life and Death, I really loved that world. It was so good because there were so many things to do. And there was also a lot of like interactable like buildings you can click on. The cemetery with the crypt and like that main town hall building in each world was so nice. And so I was hoping we were going to get that with this pack too, but we didn't. So it's like not the end of the world, but I think going forward, I would love to see something in regards to that. But going forward with this build, when I was doing this, I wanted to make sure, one, how much I could add to a business, especially with like pottery, because pottery is so expansive in the game, where you can like make it in the pottery wheel and then glaze it in the kiln with like what kind of style you want, whether it's modern, contemporary, industrial, the list goes on. And then just having new ways that you can add that like nice personal touch based on your pottery skill and who is mentoring you or whatever class you're going to. I think it's really fun. But the one main feature that I really love about this pack is that when you're traveling to, let's say, Bob Pancakes is like, you know, food store or whatever. He made his own grocery store within his own home. So let's say you go to Bob Pancakes' like grocery store and it's on his house lot. You get to choose which like side you want to go and visit. You can either visit, the actual shop, or you can visit the actual residential house, which I think is so cool to have like the capability, because with the new Business and Hobbies like expansion pack with those features, how you set up a small business or on a small business venue, you can decide who has access to what area. So you can decide if you want this area to be public or just for employees or just for the residents living there. And what I like is that it's literally locked. No one can have access to certain parts. I tried to break the barrier and see if I could access like another part of this exact venue or the sim family that will live here. I couldn't. It said you have no access. You cannot come here at all. And I kind of like that because privacy is needed unless you're breaking and entering, and then you can do whatever you want. But if you're just doing like the nice wholesome gameplay, you have no access. But I really wanted to make this pottery shop the best place possible. And not gonna lie, when I was building this, I was just like chilling, vibing, and I was watching Julie and the Phantoms on Netflix, which I'm so upset that there is not another season. Netflix needs to go ahead and renew that because that show was iconic. The best thing in the world. Julie, fantastic singer, ghost band coming back to life, doing their, gigs and whatnot. It's a great show. You should watch if you haven't. I've been kind of taking a break from like other things because I've been watching soap operas and I've been watching Degrassi a lot. I've also been kind of dabbling a lot into this show called School Spirit. And it's a great show. It's on Paramount Plus. It's a great one. Peyton List plays in as a main character, as Maddie. There's also Wally, who played in the Zombies Disney Channel like movie and like a bunch of other movies as well and things. Fantastic like people on that show. And there's one character that I can't remember his name, but he's like in this one little area of the school and he's like doing a lot of pottery. All he does is pottery and has like this gigantic rack of like pottery pots, whether it's a flower pot, a planter pot, candle holder, whatever it really is. And it's so cool of seeing like the different designs of what you can do for your pottery, depending on if you're a beginner or an expert and you want to try something new. And that kind of also got me inspired to build this because School Spirits was a very, very good show and it still is. Season 2 has already been wrapped. You can watch all the episodes, all 8 of them. I'm hoping it gets renewed because the ending was juicy. It's very great. But I've always strived for more things for my Sims to do because whenever I'm like out and about doing things in The Sims 4 or just Sims in general, I want to make sure my Sims have a very fun experience, whether they're going to the pool or the library or to a lounge or whatever it might be. I want to make sure they have the best time. And the more hobbies and more activities and skills that we get, the better, because it only enhances your Sims experience down the line. Because now that we have milestones and sentiment, the game feels more alive to me. Because the way I play is a family game player style, and I always want for my Sim kids to have like the best childhood, but then also the best like teenagehood and adulthood, and kind of see where their lives go. And I want to utilize this business specifically because my Sim, Winston Jordan O'Connor, very talented, very gifted, lost a music award to his mother. That's a fun time. But he is a musician. He lives in Copperdale. And I always had this idea that he would own his own music store. And this is kind of like his beginnings of where he performs at this pottery shop and there's like live entertainment every once in a while. But I think I want to do some type of like record store or something. Because with Get Famous, you have the DJ mixing station, you have the video making station, you even have some other stuff too that you can make music and then release it. So I want to make a recording studio where people who want to like do music can come in, do their work, get out and pay their money. Like that's what I really want to do. Like there's so many cool like build ideas based off of what pack we have, and it's so much fun. Like Get Famous, great. You can make an acting studio with Judith Ward or whoever some you have. You could make a music studio. You could literally make a interior design agency if you have Dream Home Decorator, and like play pretend of like making your own interior design agency of some type, or a furniture store. You literally could make a furniture convenience store of some type. Like it's a problem to have, but it's a good problem to have. It's bad because there's not a lot of time in the day to do everything, but it's also great that you have all these ideas. Like the list that I have is lengthy. I did a stream yesterday on Twitch that if you didn't watch it, you should. I built the most crusty, dusty looking, ugly looking motel, hotel, Holiday Inn build I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm biased because I built it, but I built a hotel because you have business activities with this pack where you can eat, sleep, shower, and do like those things to simulate a hotel, but not have like an actual hotel because we don't have that full-on feature in the game yet. So I'm remaining hopeful we get that eventually. So this is like the first build of many that I've been wanting to do. And I kind of want to recreate like Bob's Burgers in The Sims 4 because Bob's Burgers is a great show. I love that show. It's a fun thing. But the one thing though I do know is that residential rentals and restaurants and vet clinics will not work in terms of owning a small business because technically those are own separate businesses already. So you can't like live on top of like your vet clinic or your restaurant or your residential rental and have a business in that area because you can't have two businesses running on the same lot. But the good thing about it though is that you can probably have a vet clinic here and then have another shop right next door. Again, loading screens can be a bit of an issue and kind of like a lot to do, but it's something at least, I would say. But I am looking forward to like the future of The Sims 4 to see like what kind of packs that they create. I want to see a lot more variety in terms of gameplay and functionality of what you can do and how well it ties well with like other packs. I'm always looking for like cross pack gameplay. How well does it work with high school years, Discover University? Even like the main core to me is like growing together because of milestones, get together because of the clubs systems, parenthood on how you like do those things, and even like what sentiments we get out of it from base game. But I'm also like looking forward to now that we have this cookbook where we can like make family recipes. It's so cool that we have that now with this pack. So I'm always hoping for like new recipes that will be able to pass down to other Sims. It's like that generational gameplay that is what I look for in a new pack. How well can I tie it with like my existing gameplay, the way that I usually play, and how well does it work with other people's games? Like how does it well work with like a cult, or how well does it work with, people who like doing chaotic gameplay. Like those things like that is what I'm always down for at the end of the day. I always want to make sure The Sims is like the best game ever. I want it to thrive. I want it to be the best thing in the world. I don't want to see it to end. Like I could never see myself like not really playing another simulation game as long as I have played The Sims, because I've been playing The Sims for 25 years and I feel like I could never abandon The Sims. Like if I abandon The Sims 4, I have The Sims 3, 2, and 1 and like My Sims and all those other games that we have for The Sims. But it's like I could never abandon this game. I would never, I don't want to even think about it. But I will say though, it's only expanded my creativity and storytelling of what I could do. Cause like the diversity that we have in the game, the way that we can be able to create ourselves in the game now, it's a lot. It's nice, it's great, and we only can go up from here. They can only expand onto the game to be better. And I'm hoping that they do listen and take our feedback into their consideration and make packs and features and updates to our likeness and have more variety of things we can do that not only make the game great, but also makes our gameplay experience fun for us at the end of the day. Game bugs, freezes, they happen, but I always, for me, I'm a player through and through, and I want my game to be fun for me, not for the sake of content. Because like if I did not make content, I still want to have fun with what I'm doing. Now, have I done a 100 baby challenge? Yes. Will I do it again? No. I'm not that crazy. However, I am doing the A to Z baby challenge in The Sims 2. And that's going to be a choice, a ride that I'll have to deal with, but it's fine. It's okay. It's whatever. But I will have this uploaded to the gallery for you all to download, and there will be some fun little things that you can definitely do for this business, live entertainment, pottery, and your Sims can live on this property as well. So if you wanted to come here, you can. It's a great time. It's a good time. It's all the times that you need. But let's go ahead and go into the game so I can show you my live-in business property. So now that we're in the game, I can finally show you my residential lot / pottery store. And I decided to call it Patty's Pottery because a sim named Patty Patterson will be living on the top of her pottery store, has some employees that may or may not be her relatives, and may or may not be having a, an employee fling with one of them. She may not know that they're related, but scandal, drama, chaos in the pottery store. It's bound to happen. But I wanted to make sure that this pottery store had everything that you needed and more some. On the general outside, I wanted to keep it very residential, but also community. So over here, I have some nice little tables, a little grill, but then I also added in the Gamelvik and the Iverstad sign. So that way, if you wanted to know if there were any meetups or just in general, you just wanted to know more about those towns, you could come here and like understand a little bit more. I did separate these two sides. So this side is the residential area. So you can come into this door, walk upstairs to your house, or you can come over here and shop around for the pottery. The best thing about Businesses and Hobbies is that you can decide which side of the lot that you want to visit, whether it was the residential side or the business side. And I kind of like that because especially if you own this building, you can decide who has access to what, the employees, the residents, or public. And I love that option. So for this area, I wanted to make sure the pottery store had everything. So I added a row of good, decent sized pottery, one planter pot, some candles, some gnomes, some cake stands, and like random pottery ceramics. We have a little ticket kiosk so that way you can charge your Sims either per hour or one time. Patty will be charging people one time because she ain't out here trying to rob people for their money. Not yet though. Maybe insurance money, but not real life money yet. And over here we have some more pottery and the best box from Trashly that Patty got from them. And then we also got some nice little paintings on the wall and some sculptures that I thought were really nice that I found like through Debug, because these paintings are not actually buyable in like build and buy, but you can find them in Debug, which I think is really cool. And then over here we have a little coffee bar, so if you want to grab some coffee and sit outside, you have that option. I did add originally a little like table and chair over here, but it felt cramped and overwhelming, so I decided to replace it with a fireplace that we have from base game. And we did get 2 new fireplaces with this pack, which I think are really nice, but for the downstairs, it just didn't fit that vibe just yet. And then back here, we have the employee lounge, so your employees don't get overwhelmed and scared and stressed out from the hustle and bustle of the people. They can come back here, grab a snack, some coffee, and just kind of relax and just vibe a little bit. Over here, we have the entertainment area for live entertainment. We have a microphone, a guitar, and a piano, and a nice little plant, of course, that I thought would be really unique just to have some more activities to do within the business and home. And then over here, this originally was going to be like a pottery educational center, but I changed it so that way if Sims wanted to come here and do their own pottery, they could. So we have 4 little stalls here and then 2 kilns on the other side to do your glazing and blazing. But then for the general upstairs, we have the residential area where Patty will be sleeping. So we have the kitchen, which is my favorite spot of the home. I wanted to make it so small, but also homey at the same time. So we have a one little island here with our sink. Then I have the family recipe book that I think is going to be my next favorite item with this pack. We have the sweet treat fabricator, we have a little tea set, and then some mugs. But I utilized all the base game cabinets and counters that we got in a base game update a couple weeks ago in February. And then over here is the living room / dining room area / office. I try to squeeze in everything in one room. So I have the desk area over here. I have the bookcase here. I have a little bay window breakfast nook area for your eating goods. And then over here, I have the living room, which feels kind of cramped, but trust me, it is all good. You won't feel too overwhelmed, but I wanted to make sure you had enough space and enough things to do in this area. And then over here, we have the main bedroom. I didn't really know what to do with the bedroom because bedrooms are not my strongest suit sometimes, especially we only had base game and the new packs. There wasn't really a lot of choices to choose from, especially the beds, because we only got one bed in this new pack. But then I have a nice little graffiti, which I thought was really cute to add to the wall. And then over here, we have the main bathroom. We have 2 sinks because Patty likes to use one in the day and one at night. But I will say though, I am really impressed of what I've done with this build. I cannot wait to show you the next build that I've done with this pack, because I'm telling you, my list is lengthy when it comes to new packs. I get so inspired, and this is the first of many. I will have this all uploaded to the gallery when I have time, so if you want to download any of my builds from the new pack, my gallery ID is just SpringSims or under the hashtag SpringSims. But as always, I do hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below, as always, of what you thought of this build, especially knowing do you have your hands on the pack? If you do, what are your thoughts, opinions? What are the vibes like for you? Especially what gameplay and builds you've done so far. But as always, I do hope you all enjoyed it. Go ahead and comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye!